Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. The Export-Import Bank of the United States has announced $1.25 billion in new financial assistance for Pakistan, marking a significant step forward in US-Pakistan economic cooperation. The financing is directed toward the development of the Reko Diq mining project, one of the most promising mineral ventures in Balochistan. US Chargé d'Affaires Natalie Baker shared details of the new commitment in a special message on X, calling it a game changer for both US businesses and local Pakistani communities. US President Donald Trump has warned Mexico to take care of its water and sewage issues and again threatened a 5% tariff if it didn't release more water owed under a 1944 treaty. In a Truth Social post, Trump called it a true threat to the people of Texas, California, and United States as a whole. Earlier, he had urged Mexico to release 200,000 acre-feet of water by year-end. On the other hand, Mexico's president says the country is facing physical limits, not a lack of willingness, and that talks with US officials are underway. A federal judge in California has blocked Donald Trump's takeover of the state's National Guard, ruling he exceeded his authority by deploying troops to Los Angeles during immigration protests. The court restored control to Governor Gavin Newsom and said Trump's justification of a rebellion had no evidence behind it. Ukrainian forces are battling an unusually large Russian mechanized assault inside Pokrovsk, with Kyiv saying Moscow pushed in about 30 vehicles in the biggest attack inside the city so far. Ukraine insists it still controls the northern sector, even as Russia claims full capture. The fighting comes as Washington pushes for a deal to end the war. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has pushed back against Donald Trump's claim that Europe is decaying, insisting the continent is strong and united behind Ukraine. Starmer said Europe remains committed to its core values of freedom and democracy. And he also paid tribute to a British service member killed in Ukraine while observing a new defensive system. Trucks have started crossing from Jordan as Israel reopened the Allenby crossing to goods and aid for the first time since September. The move follows new security measures for drivers and cargo after a deadly shooting at the site. The crossing is a vital trade link and one of the main channels for humanitarian supplies headed toward Gaza. The United States has, for the first time, criticized China for aiming radars at Japanese military aircraft during a training exercise last week, an incident over which the Asian neighbors have given differing accounts as tensions escalate. The run-in near Japan's Okinawa Islands comes after Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi triggered a dispute with Beijing last month with her remarks on how Tokyo might react to a hypothetical Chinese attack on Taiwan. A State Department spokesperson has said that China's actions are not conducive to regional peace and stability. A US trade agreement reached with Indonesia in July is at risk of collapsing because Jakarta has backtracked on several commitments it made as part of the deal. Asked about the comments, Indonesian officials say that the talks between two sides are still ongoing, with no specific issues arising during negotiations. An Indonesian government source said that harmonization of language was required for the agreement. Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has extended into a third day, as US President Donald Trump says he will make a phone call to stop the conflict after he brokered a ceasefire in July to end a 5-day battle between the Asian neighbours. Thailand's foreign minister said in an interview that he saw no potential for negotiations in the border conflict, adding the situation was not conducive to third-party mediation, while a top advisor to Cambodia's prime minister says his country is ready to talk at any time. Speaking at a rally in Pennsylvania, Trump listed a number of wars that he claimed he helped stop, including between Pakistan and India and Israel and Iran, before stopping on the renewed conflict in Southeast Asia. 12 people have been killed in a residential fire in the southern Chinese city of Shantou. The blaze broke out on Tuesday at 9:20 p.m. local time in a 4-story building and was extinguished about 40 minutes later. An investigation into the cause of the fire is underway. Australia has become the first country to ban social media for children under 16, blocking access in a move welcomed by many parents and child advocates, but criticised by major technology companies and free speech advocates. Starting at midnight, 10 of the largest platforms, including TikTok, Alphabet's YouTube, and Meta's Instagram and Facebook, were ordered to block children or face fines of up to $33 million under the new law, which is being closely watched by regulators worldwide. The IMF has warned China that relying on exports for growth is no longer sustainable and risks fueling global trade tensions. After meetings in Beijing, Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva urged China to speed up structural reforms and pivot toward consumption. The fund raised China's growth forecast for 2025, but said the current export-driven surge cannot carry the economy much further. And Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado's daughter, Ana Corina Sosa Machado, has accepted the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of her mother at a ceremony in Oslo. A large portrait filled the hall as applause broke out over news that Machado may soon travel, despite a decade-long ban and more than a year spent in hiding. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.